Hello friends, I am Samantha and welcome back to another Wednesday Wisdom, your midweek inspirational pick-me-up.
You made it halfway through the week, and you should talk it out if it's happiness you seek. Yeah, halfway through the week, yeah. You made it halfway through the week. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As you can see, my hair is wet. I'm looking a little crazy, but I missed last week and I'm really trying to be better at consistency. So I ran out of time this week, so it's an amazing race to Wednesday Wisdom today. I'm going to take you with me as I'm getting ready, which kind of actually goes with the topic that I want to do today, and gonna try to edit it on my lunch break and upload it at my second job on Starbucks Wi-Fi. So this isn't going to be a tutorial. Can you see Miss? This is my life. She just always has to be the center of everything. But this isn't going to be like a tutorial. I don't have time to walk through everything. Yes, I use my hands for a lot of shit, but I do wash them, so whatever. But I figured 2 birds, 1 stone. Like I said, make it work if you want to make it work, and that's all that matters. Today's beauty sponge is from Walgreens, I think. My last one I had was from Walmart. But I'm just doing a simple look. It's not even my everyday look because I don't really wear makeup every day anymore, but nothing interesting really. I just needed to get it done and I needed to film, so we're doing it together. What I want to talk about today is to work smarter, not harder. And I have kind of a rant to go along with this because, I mean, absolutely no tea or no shade with this, but I have this coworker at my second job who drives me insane with his work ethics. And to each their own, I'm aware. I'm not saying that he needs to change, but my second job, because it's seasonal, there's a lot of younger kids and kids that are not as interested in a good work ethic because it's temporary. I mean, in this case, there's a difference between bad work ethic and just not. I don't know. So my second job is a man cave dream store. We have neon signs, tin signs with dumb innuendos, beer glasses, basically anything that you can get someone's beer brand printed on, we got it, and a bunch of sports stuff. And because of that, we have coasters. Sometimes they'll come in the prepackaged, plastic sealed whatevers, and those are good to go. We just put them on the floor, but sometimes they come out in sleeves of 100, 200, and we have to make little coaster sets. And that was this task that I had this evening that I'm talking about with this kid. And it just requires, when you do a ribbon on a present, I almost said a ribbon on a bow, but you cross it underneath, so it's you wrap on top and then you cross it underneath and then you come back up and then it's doop a little bow. That's what we had to do with burlap twine with sets of 25 of these coasters. And this kid had an hour and a half left until he left, and he was just ripping through them, and in doing that, his looby-doos were uneven to the point where it was just on the brink of coming untied, and he would do them so loosely that they would just fall out, and he would do them so fast that they would fall out of the twine too. So he had to redo a bunch of his coaster sets because he just kept trying to get it done as fast as possible so that he was over it. And I was just kind of sitting there I didn't want to be that guy. I'm being that guy now, but that guy to his face, I guess, being if you just took a breather, put a little focus and thought into what you're doing, work a little smarter, so this actually gets done before you leave instead of redoing the same ones over and over again, which I ended up having to redo all of his after he left anyway. But that's what I'm saying, if you just take the time, even 30 seconds of planning more can save you so much time if you're just trying to figure out a better way to achieve something instead of just trying to get it done and rip it out. Because the quality of the work that you do is what's most important in my opinion, not exactly the quantity. And like, I mean, unless you have a field where a specific quantity is always going to be required, I don't know, then like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying in general, I'm trying to cover my bases. I don't know if I have time for cream contour. What I'm trying to say is it does make a difference in the end to not even specifically plan out a little bit more, but think a little bit like outside the box logically on how you can do things no matter what it is. Like, be resourceful and figure out what the best possible outlet is for you. And I mean, this kid's option was to do them as fast as physically possible so he could sit back down and not do anything and then have me fix everything. But again, no tea, no shade, I'm just saying. I was just amazed watching him like rip through them, and like at that point it's just like, it's not even something that like, I know he doesn't care because again it's temporary. I'm sure he doesn't lose a wink of sleep over it, but like the quality of what you're putting out, like you're selling that. Who would want to buy that if it was like falling out of that? Like, the presentation, the quality of your work matters. And if that means that you have to take a little extra time to plan on how you attack something, there's no shame in doing that, because it's a matter of the end result being better for you and whoever your work is going to be for, whether that's an audience or a consumer, customer, whatever it is. Because also you have to take into consideration, like, if you are taught something some way and you are in the habit of doing it, I'm not talking about the coasters at this point, but if you're in the habit of doing something a certain way and you never think of a different way to attack whatever you're trying to accomplish, you might not have the best option, you know what I mean? Like, if you just are always on your feet and thinking of the best way to accomplish things, not only for you, but whoever you're working with or working for, like, what can you do to make things work the best that they can? And sometimes that's different than what you were taught in your routine, and that's okay. Sometimes that'll be appreciated in like a stereotypical workplace like that has set guidelines and whatnot, because it pays to be creative and on your feet. And sometimes this all requires you to be able to break away from what you're doing as well, so you can always see from afar. Like, if you take more breaks and take more like time to consider what you're trying to accomplish, you'll be able to see the best next move all the time, instead of like, if you consider things in little sections, you're going to be able to accomplish so much more, instead of if you look at the whole picture and you're overwhelmed with like everything that you have to accomplish, because that way you treat every step of the way with care instead of letting things slide because you're so overwhelmed with like the outcome of something, which like that could be related to the coasters. Like, if you see a couple sleeves of coasters, like, and you gotta make little sets out of all of them, I'm sure that looks overwhelming, and I understand that. But like, if you just, like, I was trying to create a system, like, he measures them out and then I tie them, and then he was just like going haywire, I don't know, off the wall. Again, no tea, no shade, he'll never find my channel, but I think he could work a little smarter. Not calling him dumb, just the fact that not taking the time to break down tasks in a way where you can see every step of the way and trying to rip through things just created more time to have to do those things, and that's a waste of time. All I'm trying to say is, as long as you maybe take a little bit of extra time to prep whatever you're attacking, going at, trying to accomplish, trying to slam dunk, and breaking things down in a way that you can be creative in every step of the way on how you plan to accomplish that, instead of losing yourself in the big grand scheme of things. Like, keep that in mind always, but don't hyper focus on it so you don't get overwhelmed, because it's so easy to lose track of the passion and your goals because you're so overwhelmed by everything else that you have to do. You have to accomplish A, B, and C to get to D. Focus on how to best do A first. Don't think about B yet. Like, focus on A and then let it bleed into B if need be. You know how to break that down appropriately. I guess it's kind of turned into time management instead of work harder, not smarter, but even still, they're kind of important hand in hand in my opinion. I know I'm not even done with my face yet, but I'm afraid my camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna leave it at that. If this wasn't the weirdest format of a Wednesday Wisdom I've ever posted, I don't know what is. And with that, please like, share, and subscribe if you're into this kind of thing. Full face without brows type of thing. Stay positive, my friends, and have a wonderful last day. For whatever reason, I have no problem putting Snapchat videos into my videos, but if I just like do the normal like boop boop and then put it in, it doesn't work. I don't know if that's just me being dumb. I'll figure it out eventually, but if anyone wanted to see the completed look, which is basically nothing, here's maybe. I just didn't want to leave it unfinished. Have a wonderful last day.
Halfway through the week,